Hey guys, this is Rhine1988, or Justin, and I'm back here for Thursday, and this week we are talking about Runaway. And Runaway is a 1984 film. It is written and directed by Michael Crichton. It stars, if I'm saying his last name wrong, I'm sorry. It stars Tom Selleck, Gene Simmons, Cynthia Rhodes, and Kirstie Alley. And basically, it is a film about a character named Jack Ramsey. He is a cop played by Tom Selleck, and he's like the lead guy in this film if you didn't notice already. But he's a cop, and his job is basically to stop infected machines, because in the time of this movie, machines or robots are supposed to be somewhat helpful for people. Rather if it's, you know, working in a household or, you know, working on construction, you know, they're in the world in this movie to help people out or anywhere, you know, or just to be helpful. And even Tom Selleck's character Jack Ramsey has a machine named Lois to help him around the house, to take care of her son when he's at work, and she's kind of like a mother figure and a wife figure to both of them. And so one night, with his partner Thompson, or his new partner Thompson, played by Cynthia Rhodes, they get this call that two people have been murdered, and they find out that there's a machine that killed these two people and there's a baby alive in the house still. And so eventually Jack Ramsey's, or Tom Selleck, goes into the house, saves the baby, and you find out later that the machine was infected, and there was a chip put in it to make it evil or turn it against people. And you find out that that villain is Luther, and Luther is played by Gene Simmons, and he's a creepy guy, you know, he's the villain. And basically he wants to, and from what I got of this movie, I could be wrong, I've seen this movie a lot, but for me I could get some things wrong. I believe he wants to turn machines against people. And so, you know, there's a lot of cool scenes with the machines, and but that's not the point. There are cool machines, but I'm kind of going off. So Jack Ramsey has to try to stop Luther, and on the way you meet the character named Jackie, and she's played by Kirstie Alley, and you have this big fight sequence at the end with Luther and Ramsey. And so that's all I'm going to say. I don't want to spoil the movie, and that's probably a bad plot. But Runaway, for me, is a childhood favorite of mine. I grew up with this movie. You know, before I got this DVD, I had not seen it in years. And in fact, I didn't even know this movie was out on DVD, because it's one of those movies where a lot of people don't know about it. And in 1984, we had another sci-fi action film come out called The Terminator, with James Cameron James Cameron being the director of The Terminator. And The Terminator was, you know, filmed on a lower budget, and Runaway, from what I found out, was a big budget movie. It cost a lot to make, but The Terminator was the big success film, and Runaway was kind of like the, you know, the little brother who, you know, slid away. You know, you didn't really know too much about it. And so, you know, it wasn't successful, I don't think. And, you know, underrated. So when I found out it was on DVD, I had to pick it up. I grew up with the movie. I love this movie. I think it is great. It is a lot of fun. And I think if you grew up with the movie, you would still like it today. Most people probably would not care for this movie today if they watch the movie for the first time today, or in most recent years. I think you have to grow up with the movie to really appreciate it, because it is pure 80s. It's semi-cheese, not full cheese. I mean, it has a lot of serious and intense moments, but for me, I grew up with the movie and I love this movie. So going on to the things I liked about this movie, and first of all, I don't really think I can have anything negative to say about this, because I love it. The big thing is awesome Gene Simmons. I think Gene Simmons was one of the best parts in this movie. In fact, he's my favorite actor in this film. Tom Selleck is awesome, but Gene Simmons, he knows how to play a villain with his stares and his looks, and he's just so creepy. And then you got the rest of the cast. I think they all did a great job. I mean, Cynthia Rhodes is in this movie, and she was kind of, you know, big in the 80s. She did Dirty Dancing, she did Staying Alive, and I'm sure she did a lot of other films. And then you have Kirstie Alley, who I believe this was her first film, and she wasn't so well known at the time until like Cheers came, the show Cheers, until she got involved with that. So she wasn't the big actress, and then Cynthia Rhodes kind of, you know, disappeared, and Kirstie Alley became a big actress. You know, just a great actress in my opinion. I love Kirstie Alley. But overall, I thought the acting and the characters were great in this film. I thought the action sequences were a lot of fun. There was intense moments. There's a really cool car chase scene in this, dealing with robots. And you have Tom Selleck's character, Jack Ramsey, and Kirstie Alley's character, Jackie, having to, you know, leap to another car, you know, go to another car before something happens. I don't want to spoil it for you. But that's a pretty cool scene. And then you have the ending with Gene Simmons and Tom Selleck, and that's a lot of fun. The robots in this movie are great. You know, they're not these huge, elaborate robots. They're, you know, basic size robots, but they're creepy and awesome. And, you know, then you got these little robotic spiders that are kind of creepy in this, that kill people, jump on their backs, spray stuff in their faces. I mean, it's just crazy. But it's a lot of fun. And I absolutely love this movie. I think if you grew up with the movie, you probably still enjoy it. But if you're watching it for the first time, like in the recent years or today, you might or might not like the movie. You just gotta appreciate the movie for what it was. It was an 80s film. It's cheese and way, but it's a lot of fun. I mean, you have freaking awesome killer robots in this movie. And that rocks. And killer spiders. Robotic spiders. And then the acting's great. Gene Simmons, I gotta say, he's just so awesome as a villain. And in fact, he's probably one of my favorite villains in a, you know, action sci-fi movie. So, Runaway, I highly recommend this movie. Give it a watch. Enjoy it for what it is. Go into it thinking 80s pure funness. Cheese, for most part. And just appreciate it for what it was. I mean, it's a 1984 robot movie. Action movie, sci-fi movie. And, you know, the cool thing about it is the 80s did not rely on a lot of CGI because there wasn't a lot of CGI back then. And it's pretty cool to see these little robot, you know, killer robot spiders walking around. And just the effects in this movie are really neat. So definitely check out Runaway. If I had to give it a rating, I'd give it a 4 out of 5. I love this movie. And, you know, for me, it would be up there with The Terminator 2, and RoboCop. But I'm going to probably get a little hate for this, but I actually like this better than RoboCop. I think it's just because I grew up with the movie. Some people will probably disagree with me on that, but I love this movie. I love RoboCop, but I love this movie. So that is my review on Runaway. So thank you guys for watching. Definitely go check out Runaway and check out everybody else's reviews on this film. So I will talk to you guys later. Hope you guys are having a good day or night, and